We are back, and now we are joined by one of InterPride's co-presidents, Linda DeMarco. I've also
Woo!
awesome, amazing Madonna Cacciatore, my favorite lesbian in the whole wide world. Of course, Linda, you're definitely my favorite lesbian in the whole wide world as well. So I've got two. I've got
Say
two.
that to everybody. You say that to all the lesbians, Brian.
Oh no! I can promise you.
Well, I'm glad to be here with both of you guys. You've been doing a ton of work for this concert, and I personally thank you, both of you, for all the work you've put together a good team behind you to help you out, right?
Oh yeah, we got a great team. Matthew Van Oz in South Africa. We got, of course, Julian Sanjivan, are your fellow
My
co-president.
fellow co-president, who
We got
he's like they're like the Energizer Bunny.
totally. They don't sleep.
They just go. I hear my phone going off at 2 a.m, and I rolled over to my partner. She goes, "You forgot to shut the notification off." And I'm like, "I know it's Julian." I turn over, it's Julian.
Yeah, always.
They always are working. Great to good. He's doing great. They're both going great.
Yeah, they're doing great. And Ryan and I are so we talked about this on every single little segment we've done about the concert. We are proud in the proud family of InterPride, because the work that InterPride does is amazing. And we've been talking a lot about where the funding's going for the concert. We've had interviews with artists, but the leadership that you and Julian bring to the organization is fantastic. And we're just both really happy to be in this spot right now, working with both of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So we got this whole concert coming up, right?
Yeah.
And we got our headliner. Guess who our headliner is? Nana! Oh my God, Nana! I can't wait.
That was great. I can't tell you how happy I was when Netta finally agreed to do this. And all the artists, I mean, for all of them to come forward to do this in solidarity with us is just an amazing. Gratitude is just not a big enough word to say for all of them. And Netta, when you finally told us that you had Netta and you had the announcement, that was great.
Yeah, if you're in Boston, it's Netter.
Yeah.
Nutter.
Don't make fun of my accent.
Hey, but I love your accent. Yeah, we're so excited. And to be clear, every one of these artists are donating all of their time, materials, energy, vibe, music, and talent. I mean, many of these people were on tour and did these. It's very some of them are super produced and some are very grassroots because they were working on a show in either Florida or Alabama or somewhere in the US, and they did their own. They just did the song on their own. Like Michael Shepard did that, Jennifer Lee Warren did that, and so did Angel Bonilla, and so you'll see everything, and everything comes from people's hearts. They really did this as a labor of love.
Right. No, and here's the thing about artists and in the Pride movement. People don't understand and appreciate. They always say, "Oh, you should do it for free." One, they don't have to do it for free. Okay. They have to make a living too. And we've all experienced this through COVID and stuff like that. But this kind of an event, this concert event with the proceeds going to some of the proceeds going to what's happening in Ukraine and to the program that InterPride does, they don't have to donate their time, but they do because they believe in the cause. And as you said, Madonna, it's in their heart. Mm-hmm. And they know it's going to folks who need it so badly, to need the funding to help them get pride organizations in their countries and in their hometowns. And just, we had planned this before this unfortunate, I can't even describe what's happening in Ukraine. It's just terrific. But we had planned this before this had happened because our programming in InterPride and how we have so many folks in marginalized companies, and countries, and companies, who need help, who and have no place to go, and they find out about InterPride, and they find out about our solidarity program, and they find out about our scholarship program and our legacy program, and they reach out to us, and we need to get the funding in to help them because they're not going to get it from their government, and not all not all sponsors are fortunate enough to be able to give it to everybody. But if they work with us, the sponsors know that we give it to all. We spread the
Yeah.
love, we spread the wealth. And so that's why it's good for our sponsors right now. We have some great sponsors here helping us out. And I know, I was having a chat with Ryan earlier. TripAdvisor is doing great. They're helping out a lot. And Happy Socks, you can't be any happy with those socks,
I
but
mean,
they're
just
Happy
great
socks.
partners.
Yeah,
Great partners. And I know I'm all over the place here, but I have a short time to talk to you folks, and I know Julian and some of my other colleagues have been talking to you both. But the work that InterPride does is so important to on such a global scale, and to have these artists just step up and say, "I'm with you. I want to stand with you," is very heartwarming, and I appreciate every one of them, and I thank them all for doing that.
Thank you. Yes, it's very true, and they did it without hesitation. They're just, I'm in. I sent. We're telling Enterpride's telling our story now. Enterpride's 40 years old, but has an amazing story, and through this concert is a fundraiser, but it's also an opportunity for us to talk about our work, which includes, having gotten through the Solidarity Fund, some folks through COVID hardships in the last year.
Yep.
You'll see some of those stories. You'll hear some of those stories. And I think that it's incredibly moving when you know that $1 goes a long way in another country, much further than it actually can go in the US, to help a person. Ryan, what are some of those stats about where the money goes? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's really important for all of us to recognize just how valuable, important, and strong our dollars can be when trying to help out our friends in Ukraine. More recently, we did help out an organization in Uganda, and it was only a couple $100, but that couple $100 helped them keep their LGBTQI plus shelter open. That's how much our dollar meant to our global South members, community members. And then
right.
in Ukraine,
And to flee Ukraine, what's that? $1,000?
$1,000 for a car of four. It's $1,000 for a car of four. That's what we're trying to help with. That's the resources we're trying to provide. So for $1,000, every $1,000 that we're able to contribute back to the Ukraine situation, that means 4 people's lives are probably being saved with an evacuation route. That's what it means.
Well, and it's also for our Ukrainian LGBT partners in Ukraine, the prides that are working really so hard, Kharkiv Pride and Kiev Pride out there. They need support to get their members out and to be safe, because even if you evacuate and you go to another country, you don't know how safe that country is to accept LGBT. So we need to be mindful of that as well. And this is, I've been with the InterPride for a very long time, and you guys know I've been in the Pride movement for a long time in Boston here over 27 years, and I've been part of the leadership of InterPride for 10 years. This is my 10th year anniversary. Started as a little treasurer there. And back 10 years ago as the treasurer, I can be first to tell you, we didn't have a lot of funds. We were depending on our membership. We didn't have a lot of membership. We were trying to get membership in, trying to tell the good work that we do on a global scale. Even though we're in our 40th year, I'm aging myself, but now you're popular if you have a gay person in your life. 10 years ago, if you had a gay person in your life, you were hiding it still in a closet. So not a lot of folks were joining organizations such as InterPride. And so now, we're fortunate enough to have, almost triple the membership we had even 5 years ago. And we can now do more programming 5 years ago. When I started, the Solidarity team had a small budget of like $3,000 just to kind of give away. And as Ryan said, $50 goes a long way, but we're thinking, oh my God, we could do so much more. But just $50, I would wire transfer, working with the Solidarity team, and transfer it to Uganda. There was a Pride, if I remember correctly, down just starting there in Taiwan, way back before Taiwan, got marriage and really came to it. And it took me forever just to get money there. And it was only $25. But that was a lot for them back then. So now Madonna, with your efforts in getting this development going forward and bringing more money and more resources, our team can get more money out to more organizations in the global south, as Ryan said, not only just global south, in Canada. There are prides in Canada. There are prides in the United States, in our own backyard, who need help because their mayor doesn't believe there's any gay people living in their town, and they shouldn't have a pride in our own United States.
No.
So, there's a lot of work that look at Don't Say Gay in Florida. Who would know that would ever happen? So we need to empower these prides across the globe.
Don't say gay. You know what? Gay.
That's ridiculous.
Gay.
Totally ridiculous.
It's amazing what people think they need to do with their time to bring other people down. And that's why we have to stand in solidarity even stronger than we have before, And Linda, I aged myself on a call earlier, on one of these earlier, talking about the 60s and 70s when, I was going, I didn't really tell a lot of stories about it, but we were fighting for our rights then. You were finding each other in the hidden bars or the places where we could meet and feel safe. And I was in Texas, so there was an additional, fear, I guess.
Oh gosh.
But, and we're still, it's ridiculous that these are the things that we're fighting. But as I said in one of these segments, the U.S. has to fight this because we set an example for the world. We have to make sure that we're fighting people like these politicians in Florida who want to take our rights away. Everything that's happening in Texas, where I grew up and where I was able to be myself now. I mean, I would probably feel less safe there now than I did then because they're all going backwards and they're all have it out for us in one way.
Well, and I can tell you it's because and I'm going to say this, it's probably a very unpopular thing to say. It's because we are our own worst enemies. We fight amongst ourselves. Our own organization, we have prides being destroyed because they feel that we're not representing them when we represent everybody. And that division that we have between us, these legislators, these hateful people, they harness it. And then they create things like, Don't Say Gay. So they say, look, they're not even organized. They don't even get along themselves, which we do get along ourselves, but we just have difference of opinions. We all care about one another. We all love each other. We all try to be the kindest persons we can be, and so this is why we do things like this. Like I said, we had planned this Silence of Solidarity concert, before this unfortunate war that's going on. And it was because we wanted to make sure we had enough funds coming out of COVID, knowing for 2 years, prides weren't having fundraisers, weren't able to get together, weren't able to network. And so they were experiencing, our people in our community of feelings, they're experiencing depression, not feeling worthy, all around the globe, feeling alone, not knowing where to go. And so we wanted to be able to get these funds in so we can help these folks get whatever they need to do to let people know that we are together. We're in solidarity.
Yes.
That's the key word here in our theme. Solidarity. We're no longer silent. We have gone from silence to solidarity. We are going to be there for our partners in the global south, for our marginalized teams. Look what's happening in Bermuda just this past week. This one gentleman fought the courts, Rod Ferguson, fought the courts themselves, put himself out there to get gay marriage to just be recognized in a little island of Bermuda. It passed, and then they all gathered and got money together to get the courts to have an appeal, and the courts appealed it and they overturned it just because they had enough money, and this poor little guy, he didn't have enough money. So it's sorry, it's a sadful thing to feel that, but I think what we're going to do with our funds is make sure they go to the right people, to get into the right hands, to help people, whether, like Ryan said, it's $1,000 to get a car, to get our LGBT prides safe, or anybody safe in Ukraine, or just to have a gathering or a picnic or a dinner at someone's house to tell everybody we're having a gathering. It's a safe space, or make posters. I know some of this solidarity events were. There was one, I believe, in Barbados, and they wanted to just have pictures
Yeah.
like a gallery of pictures to say you're not alone. We're with you, and it was just a bunch of, and they just needed funds to do it, and we
And
offered a grant. Yep, and they did it. It was great.
yeah,
We actually have on our website, and I'm Ryan. You could probably share where it is. We have some the solidarity annual reports from years past where they had their testimonies of
mhm.
where the money went and how it was worked. I'm not sure what page it is on, but along with the testimonies that we're going to have during the concert, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. We our board member Alan Reef uh, got some beautiful stories, just some letters from around the world about how folks used the funding that they got. And I'm telling you, I cried at the music because I thought the music was incredible as it was coming in. But then when I was reading those letters, I thought, wow, I'm in the right place. I'm in the place I want to be. This is, and we're a unique organization because we are global. I've worked for many nonprofits for the past 16 years, mostly locally in Los Angeles, but this organization is incredibly lean, and the money goes where it says it's going. There's no excess of spending. It absolutely goes to the people who need it. And I can attest to that 100 million%.
Well,
So
we're all the members of InterPride are all Pride organizers, and we know how to utilize every cent in the appropriate way. That's one of the good things of having all of us. We're all volunteers, on the leadership team. We're fortunate to have, you two, our project managers. Finally, we're able to get some help from you two, but we put our money in the right way to have you guys help us out. So. And I
It's about
know
making
there's
wise
a place to
investments.
donate, right, Ryan? There's a donate. You put the link in for the donating, and we'll take anything right now, right?
we will.
There's- Bigger is better.
Good, Ryan. But small is fine.
Donations, bigger donations are better.
And I encourage, we have partners with APOA, which is the European Pride organizations, FCP, which is the Canadian organization. We have umbrella organizations that do the good work that we do out there in their area. I know APOA has been working really, really hard to help out Ukraine and
Yeah.
other grief-stricken places out there that, being gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary is just not in their mind normal, and so it's hateful, and they fight against us. So they're doing good work, and we have our Asian Pacific folks trying to gather together to do the work down there. So our globe is so big, that we're fortunate enough to work with each and every one of these partners. And I employ any Pride that's out there who's listening to this and needs to listen to the concert to join InterPride. Go to our membership page. And if you can't afford the dues, don't be shy enough not to tell us. Because we're stronger together. That's one of the biggest things that anybody could ever walk away with is people can get a lot of things done, but it could be bigger together. We're so much stronger being united in solidarity and helping each other out.
Yes, we are. And it's interesting, Linda, about what you just said. It's a big world. And yet our InterPride family feels very, very connected. I feel very close with our membership and with the people we've been able to connect with and help. I started as the executive director when I was executive director of LA Pride is when I found out about InterPride. And I can't tell you, it's a large pride, how inspired and moved I was by just having a chance to network with, say, a small pride in the panhandle of Texas, or somebody in Brazil who really only had this much money with which to produce their event. And that's what we need to be doing with each other. Nobody has all the answers. We connect, and that's how we learn and grow together.
And we're transforming. We're putting new measures in place to be more supportive of our members. We're doing things that are focused on our members, on the Pride organizers, on the community as a whole. It's taken time to get to this point, but just in less than a year, we have transformed this organization in so many positive ways. And this concert is another one of those ways that we are doing that. So we can continue doing the great work, so we can help out our friends in the global south to escape persecution, so we can help out our friends in Ukraine so they can evacuate safely. I've been in war situations. I can assure you it is not good. It is very, very, especially if you're a Western civilized country, to suddenly be at war. Just imagine if it happened in your backyard, wherever you might be. That's
Exactly.
exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
People need to sit back and just say what's happening there. It could happen. Like I'm in Boston. It's like Boston being bombed.
Exactly.
It's just a horrific thing. And we all need to have all. I mean, it's one thing to give them hearts and prayers. It's another thing to give our funding and making sure it goes to the right thing. And that's what parts of this funding in this concert is going to go to. And I'm so grateful that we're able to do that. I'm so grateful. So part of the thing with COVID, everyone's like, oh, it's COVID. What we did this past year with COVID, Ryan's technology and your connections, Madonna, we have kind of changed things to make InterPride stronger for our membership. We've tried our best to stay connected through concerts like this, through, Zoom, socials and stuff. I just came this past weekend to the Northeast Regional Prides in the Northeast, and it was a hybrid one. So some people still didn't feel comfortable to get together, and you can understand that and appreciate that. So there's about 26 of us. Usually in a conference like this is about over 130. So 26 of us braved to go to Pennsylvania in a snowstorm, mind you. So I was getting away from Boston. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be warm. Not. Anyway, someone came he was on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania, drove 6 hours. I'm like, that's how big the state is. Who knew, right? 6 hours across.
Yeah.
He came over to me, showed me a picture of myself at a conference that I was at in 2013, had it on my phone and came over to me. The poor kid aged me to death and said, I was a volunteer at this AGM in 2013. I was in Pittsburgh and I volunteered and I heard your speech and I decided to go out and start my own pride. And I have this picture of you. Wow. And it was this horrible picture of me, but it was a picture of me. And I was on, I don't know, a soapbox. And I just said, you could do anything. A pride is anything. You just get your friends together and go outside and have a barbecue and tell everyone it's a safe space. And that's what he did. And then today, so at the conference, it was his first NERP because it was InterPride. It was COVID, so he didn't get to see anybody. So he came, drove 6 hours. And I felt like I was a rock star because he was like, oh, can I have your autograph? And I'm like, who are you? Right? So he told me the story. And all he was this little volunteer and he got inspired. So if we inspire any volunteers with this concert, with all the work that we put out, that's what I want. I want the youth today to keep up going and keep us doing. We're just setting the base here. They can build on top of the work that we've all done. I was happy that this kid caved this to me and thanked me and showed me this terrible picture of me. It was a picture of me standing up there with my Italian arms screaming at some ATM in Pittsburgh, but it was enough to inspire him. And so I'm hoping this concert inspires anybody who's listening, not just to give money, but to go out and to help wherever they can into their community, to open their arms up to the seniors who were pioneers in the way, to the youth who are struggling, who feel that they're all by themselves and afraid of being bullied, to just help, be kind to one another. And, and whatever InterPride can do, if you want to donate, we're going to be there and we're going to make sure that we help everyone around the globe. That's my speech to you guys.
And that
I don't know what else to say. What else is there to say? I mean, Linda, mic drop. I mean, that's it. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. So I hope everyone joins. I think it's going to be a fantastic concert. We got a ton of performers, right, Madonna?
A ton, yeah, and many of them. Robin McWilliams, my wife, who is a talent manager, also did one of the episodes yesterday, I guess.
I saw a little part of it, and then I said, "Oh, I need to be friends with Robin on Facebook." So
half the show was on there. Half the showcase showed up, and I'm going to be on. Actually, Michael Shepard and his husband Hutch have a show every Friday night called "Boozing with Gays," and I'm going to be on it tonight. Look it up on Facebook. I'm going to be on it tonight, promoting the concert as well. Boozing with Gays.
Don't
So,
do it too much now.
well, you can drink or not. They do a specialty cocktail, but it's really about just chatting about current events. It's about their beautiful couple. Michael. You'll see in the show, and yeah, boozing with gays. There it is. So join us
Yeah,
tonight.
Robin had a lot of the artists pop in and say hi, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sorrow came in today. Neri was in yesterday, and then one thing I've noticed, something you just said about that person who walked up to you, Linda. We keep hearing stories like that where you've done something in your life that's helped the community, and you think it's small, but you get a message from somebody who tells you, you know what, I was able to feel safe. And Robin and I have actually had this happen from some things we did, some shows we did in the past, where they would say that hearing you two speak gave me the courage to be who I am, even though I'm not in a country that accepts me for who I am. Internally, it helped me be okay with who I am. And I was able to sort of get resources to help me change my life. And I think that's a huge part of the work that InterPride does as well.
Yep. Yep. We all do that. Every one of us. It's amazing. You don't know how much you've touched someone's lives. I was very heartwarmed that this person did that. And I'm sure you and Robin were too. And I'm sure it's happened to Ryan. I've spoken to Julian. It's happened to Julian. They've done the great work in New York and beyond. And even Matthew, he's done a great job here with all the work that he's done in South Africa. You had Richard on the other day, Richard Bell. He's done some great work in his community. So we try our best to do what we can. And I think we need to rely on our sponsors to help us out, our dedicated sponsors to know that the money's going to the great place. We have Reverie who came on to help us out now here to get this going so everyone can see this. We have Digital Realty, TripAdvisor, Happy Socks. That's just to name a few of them we're very, very fortunate that when we have our sponsors that come forward, we know they're dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community. We know where their true lies within us. It's not a falsity like, I'm sorry, Disney. These sponsors that we have are true. And what they mean is what they say. And that's why it's another important thing that when we get money in, we make sure that they know that their money is global. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
And just to point something out really quick. So when we have a relationship with partners, InterPride has come up with a very comprehensive and very detailed ethics policy as to who we will have a partnership with. This was very important when Madonna first started to make sure that this was formalized, put on our website, and finished. And that policy, of course, it will change as the times change, but we are very strict as an organization as to who we will partner with. They have to meet a very robust criteria for us to take their check. So
I see that you put the post on there, and I encourage some of our members to look at that ethic policy and institute it within their organizations. Totally institute it. I mean, you want to take the money, but do you? You need to be careful. That's why donations are important, because the people who donate are the people who have the heart and soul to press that click. Because they know what they're doing. They're not doing it for any other reason but to give from their heart.
Correct. And we have a Rainbow Circle of Donors now. We just kicked off that program late in the fourth quarter of last year. And we already have a little family gathering of rainbow donors. And that's where we're looking to diversify our revenue through individual donors. And that's where
because that's the way it goes. Individual giving. I know in the next couple months, Madonna, you're going to be concentrating on that. And that's great, because that's what we have to do. We can't rely and ends up feeling hurt. How devastated were people when they found out what Disney did? Oh. They thought, that's great. We got Disney. They're a sponsor. No, they're not. They're just using us. We do not want to be used. We want our money to come from people who care about our community, care about the rights, care about the suffering and the injustice of our community. Mm-hmm. And that's what a donation could do. We're going to give this money, and we're going to make sure it goes to the good people who need it.
Exactly. Well said.
Oh, this was great. Okay, yes, this was great. This is an important conversation. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Linda, of course, for your time. I know it's very valuable. And of course, my counterpart, Madonna Cacciatore. We're married, but we're not.
Yeah. You like my
I
work.
don't know. Don't tell Robin. Don't tell your partner that.
She's fine with it. She's like, take
We
her
have,
off.
we have a work marriage. That's what we have.
Well, I thank you both. You both have been, a pivotal component into the growth of InterPride. You're probably not thanked enough. Prides are a thankless job, whether you get paid for it or not. It is a thankless job. You do it for the love. And I thank you both. And I know a lot of people appreciate the work that you've done. You've seen the growing of InterPride, and you wait till you see where we go in the next couple months.
Yes. Yes.
We're excited. I'm excited.
I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Julian Sanjeevan, Matthew Van Az, Carmen Cacciatore from Mighty Real Agency, Robin McWilliams from Mad Catch Entertainment, all of our partner sponsors, everybody that's participated, volunteered, they've been part of the magic to make this happen.
Lewis, I need to thank Linda Lewis too, who's been incredibly helpful. And of course all the partners, all the InterPride partners, the ones we named have really truly supported the concert. But we have other partners out there, like we just with Notch, we got some cool stuff coming out with Notch. Put your Notch on your wrist.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
So many exciting announcements coming. But thank you, Linda, for your leadership, and Julian.
You're welcome, and I hope everyone tunes in to the concert. Yeah. What time is it, Brian?
2 p.m. Pacific tomorrow.
9 p.m. GMT.
9 p.m. GMT. Global. 9 p.m. GMT, which I know it's 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, you know what that is.
Look it up. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for having me on. I hope everyone has a great upcoming summer, and we look forward to having all your honest donations coming in.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye.